Welcome, 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 everybody. My name is Donnell Johns. I am the founder and CEO of Veterans Growing America, and we are here tonight to talk about grit, grace, battle tested, resilient, and ready with these young ladies here. Veterans Growing America is a platform that spotlights veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs, and we will not disappoint you this evening. We have some amazing leaders here, and I'm going to get them introduced in a second. So, for tonight, we're going to talk about and spotlight our community, but I need you guys to stay connected on everything that we have going on. At the end of this, we're going to have a giveaway. So I need y'all to stay tuned. You'll get a complimentary coaching session or a free ticket to Grit and Grace, our event on the 27th. So I don't want you guys to miss out on the opportunity to gain and win big. For those of you that are watching, I need you guys to comment if you will be joining us, and also to tell a friend. So make sure you tag and comment those that during this event. And we also want you to put in the response, Grit and Grace ladies. And we need you guys to engage. We need you guys to ask questions, and we need you guys to really be a part of what we're doing. Also, make sure you use the hashtag Grit and Grace, Women in Leadership, Female Founders, Veterans Growing America, and VGA. So I want to welcome these ladies today. I want to introduce you to our three facilitators. We have Miss Yolanda Tate, Command Sergeant Major, United States Army, retired. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a coach, and a woman in tech. We also have Rochelle Hemingway, Chief Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, author, image and leadership consultant, and speaker. And last but not least, Michelle G.I. Gardner-Ince, Colonel, United States Air Force retired, small business champion, strategist, speaker, and facilitator. Welcome, ladies.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey
What's up, my
everyone.
sisters and
Oh my
servants?
goodness. It's great to
Yes,
be here.
it
Yes, it is.
is. It is. And amongst such amazing powerhouse ladies, I
Yeah.
have to tell you that video that Sergeant Major Donnell showed earlier of our last time we got a chance to be together was the catalyst for the reason we're doing the event on the 27th. And thank you so much to Veterans Growing America and Donnell for hosting us.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's our pleasure. And I want to start off with some quick questions. I'm going to ask each of you facilitators a couple of questions. So, Rochelle, what happened in your career that made you realize that grit and grace is needed?
Well, I have several stories, but I'm going to share just one tonight. So, the one that I often talk about is when I made Chief Master Sergeant. So, that is the highest enlisted grade. It took me 24-ish years to get to that point. And I thought for sure that all the rainbows and the confetti, all the things, they were going to come out with a secret ring, because that's what they would always say, that all the chiefs knew all the things. But my experience was totally different. And I remember sitting in my office, my husband had already made chief. And so he was with the group of chiefs that go around, and the colonels, the commanders, and they go around and share, the celebratory news. And I'm in my office and I'm just typing away, and they come around, creep around. They said, "You made chief." And I was so excited, y'all. It was just like I was crying. I was really thinking to myself, how did I get here? But then I had to think about all those years before that. And then out of nowhere, another chief says, "Oh, you're going to get orders. You're going to get an assignment. You're not going to be here for very long." And over the course of those next 3 months, I was told, "You're not going to be sitting as the persons to represent the group," even though I was the highest enlisted medical technician. I had a line number. They put another person, a senior master sergeant, in place. And all the events, you name it, change of commands, where they would be at the tables where I would normally be sitting, I didn't get that opportunity. That lasted for 3 to 4 months. I was extremely angry and frustrated. And I had to come to terms with just moving forward. Like, you have been here before, you've been doing the job. I don't understand the background, the politics of what's happening and what's going on. But I had to get inside of my own self and just say, it's okay, Queen. It's okay, Queen. You can't control the uncontrollable. There's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes. If you do a peek behind the curtain, you would not understand, and it's not for you to understand. You do have a line number for chief, and I need you to step all the way into that. When I did get promoted to chief master sergeant, I gave this wonderful speech. My dad was sitting there, my mom, my sisters, my brother. And from that point on, I just knew that there would be challenges. Will continue to be challenges even at the highest enlisted rank. And I had to learn that these things that happen, they don't happen to us, they happen for us. And these are lessons. And also, life is always challenging. It's always challenging. And I learned the meaning. And it's more meaningful when you overcome those adversities. So I stuck with it, y'all. And then before too long, I was a command chief, and I served in that role for 2.5 years. And I stood on stage after 30 years of service, and I retired with honorable and distinguished service.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. So we're going to go over to Yolanda. Yolanda, can you discuss the challenges that women face in leadership, in transitioning, and in business?
That's a great question, Donnell. Okay, so let me say this. One of the biggest challenges for women, and I can say also, this is for myself, is that a lot of times we feel that we got to work even harder than everybody else that is working, or is our peers, or even our superiors, no matter what. And especially, I have to say this, as Black women, we have to work even harder just so that we can feel like we're seen, like we're heard, that people understand that we bring value to the workplace, that we bring value everywhere that we go. And so for me, I had to learn to get rid of those imposter thoughts. Because there are a lot of times you step into a room and you may be the only female, you may be the only Black female. And the first thing that comes across your mind is, do I belong here? Do I have the qualifications to be here? And you would not be in that room if you did not deserve to be there. And the thing that you have to learn is, we have to stop with all the negative self-talk and change that around to positive, to things that's going to empower us when we step into the room, so that we can own the room, so we can have confidence, so we can have clarity, we can understand that God led us here for a purpose and a reason.
Say it.
And we have to realize that we have to walk in our purpose. And a lot of times, a lot of women will step back and not brag on themselves. So one thing that I've mentioned to my sisters before is that I've learned to do, especially coming out the military and transitioning from being a command sergeant major into the tech field. And everybody knows in tech, it's just like any other major industry, it's mostly white males. And then, you're always competing to do different things. But we don't brag on the things that we've done and we accomplished. I served just like my sister Rochelle, just like GI. We served 29, 30 years in the military. That counts for something. We've done a lot around leadership. And a lot of times I wouldn't even tell people I was in the military. I wouldn't even brag about the things that I'd done when I was in the military. But I had to learn that, hey, in order to show who you are and what you can bring in this space, that you got to be able to brag on yourself. You got to be able to step in the room and have that conversation and let everybody know that, no, this is not my first go around. I know what I'm talking about. I know people, processes, I know systems. I may not be the most technically profound person in the room, but trust me, I'll figure it out. I did not serve 30 years in the military for nothing. So I think women, when you are transitioning or as a leader, be proud of the accomplishments that you have done already. When we talk about grit, that's that perseverance. That's that passion. That's the ability to keep going, that resilience, confidence, all of that. And we got to give ourselves grace. So that's why I like the grit to grace, because you got to give yourself grace. You're not going to always have it all together, and that's okay. But you got to be able to learn. So again, be able to brag on yourself, turn those negative thoughts around, and trust me, as a leader, you'll go even farther. But you got to be able to put in the work and do it.
If y'all listening right now, I don't know if y'all better rush to go get those tickets. I'm telling you, if you like this, you're going to like what's coming up next.
We ain't even getting started.
We're not even getting
Exactly. Yes.
started.
Amen.
GI.
Yes.
Yes.
We're talking about grit and grace, right? When it comes to grit and grace, you got to overcome some obstacles. Can you talk to us about any personal experience that you had overcoming obstacles and finding support?
Yes. First of all, my fellow senior NCO leaders have just laid the foundation. Their grit and grace is an inspiration to me, and I'm sure it will be to all the ladies attending, from the military community that will be attending, and even those that aren't. If you're a supporter of the military community, come on out. We're going to have a great time. I would say obstacles. One of the terms that I came up with is I'll spare you the ugly details because, well, the details are ugly. But there's times when our pain has purpose, right? And that purpose gives us a voice, a reason to speak. And I always, say that if someone is speaking or passionate about something, they probably have the pain to go with it. Mm-hmm. And so, one of the greatest obstacles, I think, piggybacking on both of what Rochelle and Yolanda said, was one, being ignored when you know that you have the right to be there. And then two, being able to speak up without being angry or resentful, and letting people know that in a perfect situation, I shouldn't even have to go through all of this. I deserve to be here. So, one of the obstacles I would say is, I remember when I was the deputy base commander at Hanscom, and at the time I was the highest ranking, Black female officer. You hate to use that, but that's a reality. I'll never forget. I'll come back to Hanscom, but I was in Okinawa as the commander of the Army Air Force Exchange Service, and a young enlisted Marine. Now, mind you, this is unusual for Marines, but had the audacity. He was standing in line behind me. I don't remember. I was in line at the PX or BX or someplace. And he said, "Are those eagles on your shoulders real?" And I use that example because yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you think about the culture of the U.S. Marine Corps, where colonels are literally gods, just about, let alone a general. But this young Marine thought it was okay to ask me if my rank was real. And I turned around and told him no. I got him out of a bubblegum machine and turned back around, because I thought a crazy question deserved a crazy answer, right? But then I began to realize, some of this, we have to bring this in context. There are many people who had never seen a Black female 06. That's the reality of it all. You know, when you look at the fact that making back, I'm going to share how old I am. Back in 2004, when I made Colonel, there were only 45 Black female colonels in the entire United States Air Force. 45. So you look at all of the places we have troops and airmen and sailors and Marines. They may have never seen one. And I've been told many times, wow, you're the first. I've never seen that before. Now there's many more now. But my point is, what I'm saying is, these are the challenges that we overcome. One of the obstacles I had to overcome when I was a base commander, real quickly, was the balance between being a mother and being a commander. And I remember I'd gone to the commissary and I'd ordered a black Barbie cake for my daughter for her birthday, for her 5th birthday. When I went to pick it up, it was a white Barbie. Now, I'm not trying to get into the race thing. This is about, I ordered one thing. I did not get what I ordered. Now, I turned into mom and, I kind of had a meltdown and, got upset. Well, the thing I learned about being a female in leadership, or that's visible, is, guess what? I didn't get to be a mom because by Monday, I had to go and get a plain cake because I wasn't taking that cake. By Monday, I was called to my boss's office, my wing commander's office, about how unreasonable I was. And I did not get to be a mother. I was a commander 24/7. And so, the things that females go through, right? And then, mind you, I'm a military brat. I'm a military spouse, and I'm in the military myself, and I'm a commander. But many times those other roles, especially being a military spouse and a mother, had to take a back seat, right? So I think these are obstacles that I know that conversation would not have happened had I not been a mother, right? I doubt that conversation would have happened if I would have been, not a male and not Black, And while we're talking about race, this is a time in our country where we're trying to say that, oh, it's just everybody's the same. Well, everybody's not the same, and that's the reality. Women and minorities are challenged with, even when we are successful, even when we make it through those hurdles and those gates. And oh, by the way, nobody gave me anything because I was the first Black female to make colonel in my specialty. And I can guarantee you the women who came before me were more than deserving. Okay. But for whatever reason, they didn't make it. And I always felt like it was God's grace. And I was, blessed with some great mentors. Oh, by the way, who were white male. I'm just going to say that. And, I didn't have a Black mentor until I was a lieutenant colonel. Mm-hmm. So, I say all that to say that these obstacles are real, and we can try to deny them, but they will, we must call it what it is, but not use it as a crutch. And my dad always said to me, who was a retired Army colonel, he said, never use race or gender as an excuse. Excellence is not what we do, but who we are, and just keep pressing forward. And that is really my faith and family and just the grit, the resilience has kept me going and allowed me and many others to overcome those challenges.
I just want to let the room breathe for a second after that. If you guys are tapping in right now, I need y'all to give me a round of, well, not me, but GI and these ladies a round of applause for all of this great information that they're sharing right now. So we're about to do our rapid fire questions. So Yolanda, What is one transformational question that you will guide attendees through?
So one of the things that I want to talk about, we talked about already, as far as leadership being seen, heard, and feeling valued. One of the things for me, I'm all about holistic wellness. So a question is going to be around, what voice are you hearing? What is that voice that you listen to when you step into the room, when you go in and you command a room? A lot of times we, and especially me, I can say this because I struggled with this. This was an obstacle for me, being able to go into a room, be able to command that room, and feel confident about myself in doing it. And as women, a lot of time you have to watch, because you can't be too strong, because then they'll think of you being a little bit too manly. You can't be too aggressive because now they think you're too assertive. It's so many things that you have to worry about all the time. You can't be too you can't be too commanding, because then people think you're intimidating, or they look at you as the mad Black woman. And so it's so many things that we're listening to or we're concerned about, that we stop being ourselves. And so my thing is helping to guide women to really understand, what is it that you hear? What is that voice? How do you let go of all the noise? Cut all the noise out, cut all the bull out, cut all the distractions out, and focus on what your purpose is and why you're there. And just like GI had previously said about working in excellence, I say that about all of us as Black people. We are that is in our DNA to work in excellence. And when we talk about, when we just did our last event talking about Black veteran excellence, someone asked me, excellence is excellence. Yes, excellence is excellence. Nobody is taken away from that from anybody else. But as Black people, we have to work extra hard in order for our excellence to be seen by everybody in the room. And so I just, again, say, just to lead them to listen to that voice that's telling you the right thing and not the wrong thing.
Those voices are so important, and thank you for sharing that.
Can I add something to what Yolanda said about this excellence thing? I think as my dad said, excellence is genderless and colorblind. When you really just look at what I call the receipts, right?
Yes.
Okay. You will see them if you just look without any bias.
Yep.
It is there. It is evident. It is undeniable. And I think this event is going to be outstanding for women who may be teetering, like, okay, I know it was good. I was excellent in the military, but I'm not sure how that translates outside, right? Or I know it was excellent in my government job. I'm not sure how that translates on the other side. Or I'm already out, but I need to embrace how I look, and I need to spend some time with Rochelle, or I need to get my mind and body in place. I need to spend some time with Yolanda, right? Or I need to figure out, what does my purpose look like in the form of an entrepreneurial effort, and I need to spend time with GI. You don't want to miss this, because this is going to be a small group. This space is limited, and you are going to get an intensive leadership experience at VGA, Veterans Growing America, on the 27th. So I could not let that pass by without Sergeant Major just letting people know, this is the kind of experience, unfiltered, straight, unadulterated insight, we're going to share with you what we know. We're going to hear from you and help you get on the road to solving your problems, issues, and needs.
You know, that's what people need to hear. Unadulterated truth from someone that has their best interests at heart.
Absolutely.
Rochelle, can you share with the group one thing that you needed to unlearn in order to step into your full potential?
I had to unlearn a lot. But I think for me, was really the structure. I allowed the structure to dictate a lot of things that I was doing when I retired. Until one day, my husband said, "Why is that alarm clock on? Why is it at 5 o'clock in the morning? Where do you have to go? You don't have to go nowhere." And, and just him saying that was enough for me to start to explore and design the life that I wanted to live outside of the uniform. And I had to go back to who was Rochelle? What does Rochelle want to do? Not being, told, hey, here's a document, read this, go out to this particular group, say this. I needed to sit with myself and to really think about how I wanted my life to look like. So I decided, one day just to drive around, y'all. And I drove around the DMV. I mean, I was out all day. And DMV, y'all, is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And where I live, I can go about, it's about 30 minutes to each location. So I decided, hey, let me just kind of drive around here and kind of get a feel of what's going on. And that was the first time that I felt a sense of freedom, because I didn't have anything tethered. I didn't have phones. I didn't have anyone, saying, hey, you need to be back at this prescribed time to be in position to be here. And I really found me. I rediscovered who I was, because I just decided one day that's what I needed to do. And when I found the authenticity, I was allowed to empower my own self. I did not need anyone to tell me I was good. I didn't need anyone to say I was great at something. I didn't need anyone to validate. We all had enlisted reports and officer reports where they written out like all the things that you were great at. You could walk on water, according to my reports. You can look at them for the past, 20 plus years and be like, wow. So if they are saying that I am that great, why am I over here doubting anything?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that just was another cue for me to say, you need to get outside of yourself, get out of your own way, get out of your own way. All right. And I attracted so many types of opportunities just by getting out of my own way and really settling in. And, Michelle, she said, hey, I'm the image consultant. I really found out that I have a personality. I have a free flowing, exciting, bubbly. I love life and it's all the things that go with it. So I had to show up that way. I no longer wanted to hide. I no longer wanted just to fit in and blend in with everybody else, because that's what we did. So I decided, hey, color pink. I mean, it's the extreme, right? And I took on and I've embraced it. And I absolutely love it because it brings out Rochelle, not Chief Master Sergeant, not, Mrs. Hemingway, not Mama Hemingway. It brings out me. And I think a lot of women, especially our women veterans who have served, we get stuck in a place where we really don't know who we are. We kind of go from one thing to the next because that's just the way we've been programmed. But I challenge every woman veteran to really think about the life that they want to live. Who do you want to become? Because I'm still in my becoming phase. Who do you want to become? And what are the steps that you need to take to get there? So that is truly one of the ways that I found me.
That's very powerful. As you were talking, it was reminding me of what I went through when I left the military. And I'm telling y'all need to be in the room. But I'm going I'm going to ask these ladies, why do the women, and this question is for everybody on the panel, why do the women need to be in the room on the 27th of March at Veterans Growing America? Let's start with GI.
First of all, a lot of people have events. There's no shortage of events. But I can tell you, after meeting Yolanda and being connected again with Rochelle, but it was my first time with Rochelle on a panel, just experiencing her and experiencing, Yolanda. I said, these ladies are, one, authentic. They're not shy about what they think. They're being real. Uh, they have a heart for women, right? A heart. When I say a heart for women, I mean, they both are mothers. They both are senior leaders. They both are have great minds and great spirits. Our values aligned, where we want to uplift um, each other. And it is rare. I have been on many panels with other women when I sense they're trying to um, downplay or overshadow. I call it. Not everybody can. Some people got sharp elbows. You know what that means? That means they can't operate in close. They got.
Right.
It's like back up. They can't. They can't operate in close spaces. But what I loved about being in the presence of Yolanda and Rochelle was there was no competition. It was all complimentary. It was all let's uplift each other. And I felt immediately like these are my sisters in service, my sisters in excellence. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get community. And I don't believe that this is just going to be a one and done. I don't know where God is taking this, but I know there's something special that's going to happen. The breakout sessions we're going to have, the conversations we're going to have, the talk about what's next, what can we do to help other women in our military community, and that's women veterans, that's active duty militaries, and that's military spouses. You're going to get an intensive small group experience, not one in the crowd where you don't really get to engage. And that's what I'm most excited about, because that is when transformation happens. Mm-hmm. When people hear someone else's story of overcoming, or hear somebody else's strategy, right, about what they're doing and how they're pressing ahead, and they are encouraged, right? They are inspired. And I find it's like iron sharpeneth iron. When you get the right women with the right spirit in the right room, what happens is I'm not competing against you, but you inspire me to move ahead faster on my journey. Not that I'm trying to jump over here on your road and be neck and neck with you. I'm over here, but you just make me want to go a little faster, make me want to do a little better, want me to help me want to put my shoulders back and my head up. That's what happens when we are in this kind of space. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, you want to be there.
It sounds like a 4x4 relay where we just handed the baton.
That's right.
I felt it. I'm like, all right.
I'm running.
So help the attendees out with this. What will they walk away with when they're in the room, Yolanda?
So what they're going to walk away with, first off, GI says something that's so important, and that's about that community. What they're going to walk away with, number one, is if you didn't feel as though you had a community, you will leave with a community of strong, powerful, impactful sisters that will lift you up, encourage you, and continue to help you on your journey. That's number one. And the reason why that's so important is because a lot of time for women leaders, we feel like we're alone,
Mhm.
like we're by ourselves, that we're struggling trying to make things work by ourselves, that we are the go to for everybody else, but we don't have a go to for ourselves. And so when you can get into a room that's going to be this powerful with women who are not in competition with you, women who are there to support you, you're going to leave a different person. You're not going to leave, come in one way, you're going to leave a totally different way, and you're going to have a community behind you to continue to lift you up. The other thing is this experience will have you proud to be a woman, proud to be a veteran, proud to support veterans on their journey, proud to be an ally of veterans, and will also help you to encourage your fellow sisters, whether they're on their career journey, their entrepreneurship journey, or whether they're just really just transitioning out the military and just want to find themselves, like Rochelle said. So I think there's different things for different people when they come to the event, and it's what they need at that moment. And like I say all the time, when it comes to like your holistic wellness, it's a personal experience. Everybody's wellness, what everybody needs from this experience being in the room for this event will be different. But one thing that I said that's going to remain the same is that we're going to leave as a community, and we're going to leave having powerful sisters that you can count on no matter what. So definitely make sure you're there. We need you to be in the room. I'm looking to expand my territory so I
That's
can love on some more beautiful women, and so that we can continue to uplift, encourage, and empower one another.
yes.
I am so glad that I get to be in the room. No other men get to be in the room, but I get to be in the room. So, Rochelle, I want to ask you the original question, the first one. Why do women need to be in the room?
Well, we about our business. All right. We mean what we say. We say what we say, and we mean what we say. And we do it with intentionality. We are very intentional and purposeful about what we know and what we're going to share and what you're going to leave with. We both, well, enlisted officer, right? So Yolanda enlisted, GI officer. The experience alone between the three of us is unreal. Unreal. So just imagine you being at the feet of women, Black women, who have been able to navigate a system that was not designed for us to succeed, and doing it with the grace and the grit, right? These are characteristics that we have seen from our family bloodlines and now to where we're at right now. And, we have more days behind us than we do ahead of us. So, what we're going to be doing is making sure that you are in the position to do the things that you have desired and deserved to do for a very long time. Now, women veterans, when people hear that terminology, sometimes can get a bad rap because, oh, did you really serve? Oh, we were doing XYZ, did you do that? There's always this comparative. And I say, if you did a day in the military, you are a veteran. All right. So never discount your experience, your journey, because when we can all come up voice and say, I am a veteran and I am a woman veteran, the power and the magic that happens in that, because we've seen some things. That means we know some things. All right. And we can do much greater in this turmoil and chaos that's going on in this world because we know who we are and we know what we can do together. This community is not like any other community. It will not be like any other community. You will be talking about this for days on end because that's how much we're going to be bringing. And all of us understand the magnitude of what we're going to be doing. All right. So I say, stop what you're doing, go to the link, register right now, because you do not want to miss out on this. And I'll say slay amazing, because that is one of my words, slay amazing opportunities. And it may be once in a lifetime that you'll get to experience this as we come together. And we're going to break a little bit of bread. We're going to be laughing. We're going to be caring. We're going to be kikiing here all night long. So you don't want to be missing out on this.
Let me say
and we're
this.
gonna be crying too. Now we're gonna be crying. I'm just let you know.
Oh,
Because
goodness.
some of these
Yes.
stories, some of the
Yeah.
ways people have overcome, some of the things people are going through, we're gonna cry them through it and help them come out on the other side with solutions and strategies to move ahead. So
Yes.
we're gonna laugh and I know there's gonna be some crying because I'm just might cry just out of the pure joy of the excellence and
Yeah.
amazing beauty in the room. That
Yeah.
just overwhelms me. So
Yes.
Yes.
These three ladies have a PhD in navigating turmoil and achieving excellence. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, something is wrong. I'm going to say that one more time. They have a PhD in navigating turmoil and achieving excellence. That's one of the reasons why you need to be here. Now, we're going to ask some questions from the audience. If you guys have a question, we're going to give you a couple seconds to write your question in. While we're doing that, I'm going to ask GI, so who can come to this event? Who can attend?
oh Lord. Well, it's a woman only event. Okay. Uh, um, you can be a military community affiliated woman, as an ally, as a military spouse, as an active duty member, as a veteran. Um, and there will be a few good men there, but the few good men will be supporting the queens for the evening. Sergeant Major and his group of few good men will be there. But the event is for women, and you know, I always say I'm not against men. I'm just for women, because there's something that's special that happens when it's all women. There we feel okay to be vulnerable. We feel okay to be authentic and transparent because you know, the spaces that we succeeded in have been male dominated, mostly all male. And that environment, you know, vulnerability is not necessarily seen as a leadership trait, a trait that I know it's more normal now, but back in the day, you didn't cry. You went home to your dorm, to your quarters. You drove on the other side of the base. You cried. You put ice water on your face, and you came back and like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more popular now, or more accepted now. Let me say that. But in an all-female space, it gives women an opportunity to be embraced and to be empowered, uplifted. And I'm big on empowerment. I'm not just talking empowerment. You're going to leave with strategies. If you don't take notes on your phone, in your pad, you will leave with some things, some action oriented steps that you can take in life, wellness, mindfulness, business, your career, because you got 80 plus experience. That's just the three of us. And then we have some other amazing facilitators that will be joining us. We'll be announcing that next week. But so you're going to possibly have 200 years of experience, and there is a cap of only 50 people, women in the room. That's how small and intimate this is going to be. So that's it. It's all women and just a few good men.
So man, I'm gonna give y'all the cheat code, right? I'm gonna give y'all the cheat code. Y'all, if y'all listening right now, really listen up. This is the cheat code. You better send your wife. You better send your wife. We're only taking a couple volunteers. I don't need about 27 volunteers, so don't y'all try to volunteer and all of that. We're only taking a couple. So send your wife. Look, we have the link in the chat. We have the link in the chat. So make sure y'all click that link. Get your tickets. Share it with someone that you love, because excellence is what we do at Veterans Growing America. We have a saying that Yolanda actually said, I'm going to just put it in the context of Veterans Growing America, is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And these ladies right here will help you navigate through things that you have been through, things that you're going to go through, and things that you're going to grow through. That's why we have Veterans growing in our name, is because growing is hard. And we want to make sure that you have what you need in order to grow. So this is what we need you guys to do. Number one, register to come to the event. 2, if you have an organization or a business that supports the women veteran community, you're able to set up a vendor table there. You can get all of that information on our Eventbrite page. We encourage you to share this live with those that you love. Tag someone, tag a woman, tag a veteran, tag someone that you love in the chat, and let them know, hey, there's a specific thing that they need to hear in this chat. Tell them to go to 12.2 or whatever that is. We also need you to tag hashtag Grit and Grace, Veterans Growing America, Women in Leadership in this link, and then when you share the link. I do have one last question to ask the ladies. Are there any closing remarks? And I'm gonna go around the room. I'll start with Yolanda.
Closing remark for me is this: you don't want to miss it. We want to keep it really simple. We ain't got time to be playing around. This is for you to come into the room, be in a space with some powerhouses that's going to help facilitate you to go through some questions, to really understand some things, so that you can leave not just empowered, but as GI said and Rochelle said, that you have some strategies in your pocket that you can use and take with you to help you as you continue on your journey. So make sure you register, and we want to see you right there in the place, owning, walking in with a beautiful smile, confident, ready to go, and ready to encourage one another.
Man, whoo, I'm ready. GI.
I wanted to remind that if you want a coaching session from one of these amazing powerhouse ladies, you need to do a post on LinkedIn and Facebook by Thursday morning, Thursday, 8 a.m. I'm going to make it early. Thursday, 8 a.m. and tag all four of us, okay? And talk about why you want to be in the room and help us get the word out. We will then select a winner for the free coaching session. You'll get to choose whether you want coaching from me, Rochelle, or Yolanda. And who knows, these women are generous. They may give an extra one. I don't know. And also, if you want to be in get a free ticket, free ticket to the event, be the first one to shout out Donnell Johns and Veterans Growing America with the hashtags he mentioned. And then you're the first one, you're going to get a free ticket. And then it requires a little bit more work to get a coaching session, because these ladies, you talking about some experience and some strategies that could change your life. So we want you to work a little harder. You got to do a post on LinkedIn and Facebook. It can be the same one. Got to do it by 8:00 on Thursday morning. And you've got to tag all four of us, and Veterans Growing America with those hashtags that were mentioned. And we'll select one Thursday evening, and we'll notify who won on Friday.
I love it. I love it. Yolanda, GI, Rochelle, I want to thank you ladies for all that you do to inspire, uplift, and support our veteran community. This has been an amazing evening. I'm glad that I was able to share the stage with you and get to ask these questions. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us. I see you in the chat. I see Michael Black. I see Keith. I see Chev, Karen, and a bunch more people that are in the chat. Thank you for coming out and joining us. God bless y'all, and good night.